Hello, this is Nova StarCraft, and I'm against a Terran opponent here, who was called GhostHost and is of the Diamonds League variety. And I have recorded this game using my different apps.
You have not enough minerals.
Good volume. Okay. I've recorded it so I can put the sound down and talk more clearly so you can understand exactly what I'm saying. And also I won't be distracted by actually playing the game. So I'm just going to describe exactly why I made every decision that I have during this game. So, putting my first pylon behind my my main, behind my minerals. And what I'm going to be doing is just walling that off so that if my opponent goes for Hellions, they can't circle around the back of my minerals, and it just cuts down their movement and makes it easier to defend. And the build I'm going to be doing is a bit different to what I usually do. It's going to be a 1-gate fast expand instead of a Nexus versus drop, which is what I normally do. And the 1-gate fast expand gives you the option to go for a faster tech, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to get fast gas before I expand, 2 fast gas, and I'm going to go for fast Colossus, and the Colossus are going to hopefully give me enough of a army advantage over my opponents who take a fast third, or not fast third, but a decently timed third. And I also often get the opportunity to put some pressure on with the first piece of Colossus that I get out. So just scouting my opponent in the bottom left. All I need to really scout for here is if my opponent is cheesing, so going for a big mass marine push, all in, or going for a 2 racks. Other than that, I can go home safely and not worry about much. I'll get a Stalker out in good time, and if my opponent's going for Hellions, I'll just get another one. They shouldn't have too much of a problem. I might be able to add an extra gateway down and defend against Hellions. So my opponent is scouting me out, probably just seeing if I decide to make the first setup. And yeah. Okay, so I've got to my 2 gas very early. I only put 2 in each of them. When I get up to 16 workers, then I start putting the 3rd one in. And that just gives me like a few extra minerals to help me expand a little bit faster. So I'm going to get my Stalker out fast and Chrono Booster out. I just need that Stalker to shut down that SCP to prevent it from scouting what I'm doing. So I like to send my first few units to my opponent. Just gives you a bit more extra scouting information, even though you often don't get into the base. You can see how much of a defense they've put up. If you see lots of bunkers, you can conclude they're going for some sort of 1-base push. Because they don't have an army straight away, they're taking up quite fast. So moving on down with my Zealot and Stalker. You can often get a couple marine kills if you're very lucky. So I'm going for my very fast robo after those first 2 units as a bunker. I'm just going to take the 2 watchtowers. I won't make many other units apart from the sentries from now on, because I can see when he's going to push out. I'll have warp gates done by the time he pushes out, probably. When he pushes out, I'll build lots of units out of my open gateways, and that will keep safe, and I won't have to keep reducing units. I can devote more to economy and my very fast robotech. So my robo's finishing up, a bit of lag there, and he's scouted it perfectly with the scan. But he obviously won't see he hasn't seen the robo, which I haven't built yet. Yeah, so 1 observer will go down to my opponent's 3rd, and I just need to see if he's fast expanding, taking that 3rd very fast, and if that's the case, I'll need to push out faster and take a 3rd myself faster. And I also get a 2nd observer in case he's going for some silly banshee sort of thing. It's often not silly, it's just I don't like banshees very much at all. Get my my 2 gas there. I need the gas to get so I can afford sentries and Colossus and the upgrade for the Colossus. Just going to saturate my minerals to 16 workers. It's the ideal number before I take a third. I'm going to get that range upgrade. Change my mind and get the Colossus. Colossus first is probably a better situation, a better idea. Just need the Colossus in case they push out, obviously. Just rally there, unfortunately. And now I'm going to start getting the upgrade. My opponent hasn't taken a very fast third, which is very rare, but just in case you want to account for everything, you scout. Probably should be scouting more bases than that with my observer in the bottom left. I'm saving Chrono for Colossus a little bit. So I don't need to hide the Colossus. The build doesn't rely on me hiding, well, having the element of surprise of the Colossus, but it is nice to hide what you're doing. Getting some good vision around my base with pylons, and on supply blocking myself, of course, always helps. So I'm just going to make 3 Colossus, and I'll stop there because 3 is going to do just as much as what 4 or 5 will do. They'll all get any of those numbers will get countered by a lot of Vikings, and any of those numbers will do a lot of damage and kill Rune Marauders very fast. So when I get this third Colossus, I can pretty safely expand, even though I have very few units. Try to take this watchtower. I'm over microing, it seems. Okay, got that. And I have my gates ready, well, almost. And I'll just leave those open in case he pushes. Get some Stalkers, because I'm over back to me. Yeah, because I need the army now. But I'm going to expand anyway, even though he's pushing out, because I'm pretty sure he hasn't seen my Colossus, and even if he has, I know that his army isn't going to be very useful. He isn't going to do much damage. I only have a couple sentries. I think I have 3 there. I just did enough to force field and prevent my opponents running up and sniping my Colossus with stim. That's all I need really. So I'm going to be moving out now. I know I have that army advantage right now. I just want to make as much use of it as I can. I'm doing this sort of snaky sort of maneuver to get to my opponent's third. I just want to take the watchtowers before I actually attack. Oh, I didn't take it, but I cleared it. I accidentally lost the Stalker there, you probably noticed, which wasn't very clever. So I've got proxy pylons set up before they push. Proxy pylons good there, even if I'm not pushing, to spot for drops. It's always good to put that there. Okay. Really important to keep this army alive because I'm teching on the back of this and devoting a lot to economy. So I would not want to lose this army without doing a lot of damage to his army. Really want that the left hand watchtower right now. Mistake from me. But I am going to get it now. I think I noticed that in the past. Saturating that base up to 16, gradually. So as you probably noticed, well, maybe, I'm actually going for charge instead of blink, which doesn't make much sense because I have no zealots at the moment. I think, yeah, I've got all stalkers. And what I'm doing is I'm transitioning into zealot, High Templar Arc 1 composition, because he'll be getting Vikings to counter my Colossus. And Storm will be very effective against an army without ghosts. See, quite simple. And also stopping Colossus production, which I have completely stopped Colossus production, and that will keep me that'll have me in. That will enable me to use my robo to build observers to get a good vision around the map. So he's taking back his third and he's pushing out. I'm going to lose that unit at the watchtower, which is silly. I didn't do that. And Zealot as well, at that watchtower. Disappointing. Storm isn't going to be done in time, but I have my 3 Colossus still, and I can pretty much very safely engage my Fence army and put 1 observer to that entrance on the right. Spot that entrance, and I'll have my army guarding the other 2 entrances at my 3rd. So you can't sneak up on me. Still have my proxy pylon in place on the bottom right, so I could harass with a Zealot right now, but I'm more concerned about defending my front. On the right, I think there's a drop ship on the below my natural. I think I saw. But I always build cannons around the likely attack paths for drops, as you've seen. Yeah, so I have seen that drop, which is why I left some stalkers there. And I moved down to take some watchtowers. I know the army's gone because I saw it. I think I saw it with the observer on the bottom left. He's pushing. Oh, I mean, he's dropping. I want to focus down the dropships. The cannons aren't really to stop the drops; they're just to delay the drops so that they can't kill your probes. You get extra. It buys some time for your army to get down to defend. Setting up a 4th. I don't think he has a 4th himself, so I'm creeping ahead here. I've been ahead since I forced the lift on that 3rd a little while ago. So I just need to be really careful to not lose my army or take too much damage from drops. So now I have Colossus and High Templar with Storm, and my base feels fairly safe. And I have lots of open gateways. I feel very confident to push out now. Getting upgrades, double upgrades, keep those coming. Very important in this matchup. So focusing all my attention on the storms, not always the best choice, but in this situation, such good storms, that the lack of micro on the other units doesn't really make much sense, make much difference. So yeah, I lost the Colossus because of lack of micro there. Walking in. That's the weakness of Protoss. You have to stop microing to use their spells and to walk in reinforcements. Which is always unfortunate when you don't micro as well as you could. So in this sort of situation where I'm reinforcing with the units from the proxy pile and just sending them, running them straight in, I need lots of gateways so that I can just keep producing units. And I also want a Dark Shrine because he's low on bases, and I like building the Dark Shrines to exploit the fact that he doesn't have much scan. It's a good way to push an advantage that I have right now. And I should probably be scanning the top left-hand base, which I've just noticed.
I am the voice.
Just taking the towers, which is good. My army's pretty small, but I still have the Colossus, and I don't think he has Vikings, so he's not going to engage. So yeah, just macroing up, vacuuming my army up.
I am here in the shadow.
Getting lots of gateways because I didn't have enough gateways for my the ammo mining bases I was on. I need 3 per mining base, plus a couple more considering what I'm doing here. I'm building lots of Zealots and High Templar, which are very cost effective and cheap units. So I'm just going to keep pushing in now. I have a clear advantage here. If I keep putting pressure on, he can't drop me and even up the scores. No ghosts, which is a pain for him because I can stalk him to death now. And it looks like it's going to be my win right here. And there's the storms. So gonna just move the stormers out on their own, and then morph them into Archons before they die. And build some Dark Templar now because he's on bases, and I can exploit the fact that he doesn't have much scan, as I said. I should be able to win me the game here. Still got my Outbursts coming. No need to expand more than 2 bases above your opponent, you just wanna keep tacking up. And there we go. Hope you took something away from that.